Hello, and welcome to Discount Flicks. I'm sure that whatever your taste in movies is, we carry something that you'll find quite delightful. We are one of the few stores that specializes in VHS tapes. Yes, we just think that they're a really great thing to sell. I mean, let's face it, that streaming thing is never gonna last. Who needs that kind of convenience? And as far as DVDs and Blu-ray, I mean, why settle for crystal clear picture quality and sound when you could have the comforting, fuzzy, distorted view of a good old-fashioned VHS tape? Are you interested in purchasing something today? Okay, now we're talking. Yes, we're having a sale. It's 10 for $1, so you can really stock up on these VHS tapes, and they're a little warbly, a little fuzzy, and they're also used VHS tapes that we're selling, so hence the 10 for $1, but you know, at 10 for $1 you really can't go wrong. So what types of genres are you interested in? Sounds like you're kind of into the sci-fi fantasy genres. Me too, those are some of my favorites. So why don't I start pulling up a few of our VHSs in stock, and you can tell me what sounds good to you, okay? Alright. Well, why don't we start with an absolute classic? This is the original Star Wars trilogy set, and these are actually as close as you can get to the original theatrical releases as possible. Because they've changed so much since this set of VHSs came out. You know, they've done digital things to the sound and the picture and some of the actors, so swapping them out. So this is, if you're more of a purist who wants to get as close to the original as possible, this is a great thing to have. So what you might lose in picture quality is made up for in authenticity. So just open this up here. As you can see, it's wonderful packaging. It's got all the different pictures, you know, and information. Put this around here just like that, and tells you, you know, all the information about each one, and then you've got all three of them right in here. And the covers, these have been well used, so there is a lot of creasing and rubbing on the cover. They've been well loved, but the covers are still in very good shape, and obviously the movies are in very good shape as well, or we wouldn't be selling them. And it's just a really great collection. Anyone who's into sci-fi should have a collection of the Star Wars movies. So I definitely recommend these, both because they're classics and they do come in this nice handy little package. No, we will not be splitting this set up because they are the box set. So with this particular series, it's all or nothing. So we can either sell you the entire box set or none at all. Do you think that's something that you would like? You definitely want the Star Wars box set? Okay. Yes, we do have a few other Star Wars in VHS. Unfortunately, the only other ones we have are The Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. They may have stopped putting them out on VHS by the time Revenge of the Sith came out, or if they did, I think it was a smaller run because we don't happen to have that. Are you interested in the prequels? Because I can grab those. And of course, nothing after that is on VHS. It's all DVD or streaming after that. You think you'll just stick with the original box set? Okay, would you like to see what else I have? The box set does count as 3 movies, so you're up to 30 cents there, but, 7 more, and you can get your 10 for $1, so shall I show you a few more and get you up to that $1? Yeah? Okay, let's see what else we have here. If you're a comic book fan, we have the Michael Keaton Batman. Now, Michael Keaton is actually still my favorite Batman, so I really like this movie, and I do recommend it. It's kind of a fun one because it's sort of the in-between Batman. It's not as campy as the show from the 60s, it's not as campy as the Adam West Batman, but it's not as serious as some of the more recent Batman movies. So I kind of like it because it kind of rides that line between serious and fun. It's serious but not too serious, and it's fun but not to the point of being campy. So I definitely recommend every Batman fan seeing this at least once. You're interested in that? Okay. Well, I'm sure you know that they did make several Batman movies of that particular era. So we also have Batman Returns and Batman Forever, which is where they started to get just a little bit more campy, but it is still watchable, and of course Michael Keaton is not in this one. Val Kilmer played Batman in this one, but it's still the same line of Batman movies. And then of course there is Batman and Robin, but you know what? I can't even in good conscience sell you that, so are you interested in Batman Forever, and Batman Returns? You're interested in taking all 3 of those? Okay. And if you do want Batman and Robin, I can sell it to you, but it is unarguably the worst of the franchise of this particular series. You kind of agree? Okay, yeah, we'll just leave that one off in the corner then. Okay, so if you're into fantasy, I highly recommend Willow. This one's a very classic fantasy movie. Is it related to the show Willow? Yes, it is related to the show Willow. The show it's a little different. It's got different characters, and personally, I didn't really enjoy the show as much because it didn't have that old-fashioned feel to it, especially like with the costumes and things. A lot of them were just kind of wearing regular clothes, so it really lost that fantasy flair that the original Willow has. The show didn't have the same magic for me, and like I think Rule's daughter was even wearing a Ramones t-shirt, which was probably supposed to be funny, but having seen the original Willow, it just kind of like broke with the original way the original movie was made. I do have friends who had never seen the original movie, and they really liked the show, so there is that consideration that people who haven't seen the original movie may have liked the show, but having seen the original movie, the show just didn't seem like it was in the same world as the original Willow, with the exception of Willow being in it. You know, it just... there were too many modern clothes and modern ways of talking and things that didn't fit in with the original Willow, which was very much an old-fashioned fantasy movie, kind of like Lord of the Rings, you know, that sort of thing. So, yeah, the modernization, particularly the clothes, I really couldn't get past the costumes in the show, because they just looked like regular modern clothes that you'd go down to the store and get. So, yeah, it was a little different than the movie for me, but I highly recommend the movie, whether or not you've seen the show, because the original movie is just loaded with magic. You know, there's sorcerers and Nelwyns, which are kind of like inspired by hobbits, obviously. And there's swords and sorcery, and it's a really, really fun movie. And going back to Rule, he had kind of a small part in the TV series, but he has a large part in the movie, Rule and Frangine, and they are really, they're definitely the comic relief of the movie. They're hilarious all throughout it. So I definitely recommend, if you're a fantasy fan, Willow is like a basic staple. Let me see, when was this made? I think it was the 80s. Yeah, 1988. So, it's an older movie that has definitely withstood the test of time, and I highly recommend this. You've never seen it, but you think you'd like to try it? Well, I think you've made a very excellent choice there. So, let's see. Getting back onto the sci-fi, we have Alien, which is, you know, a sci-fi staple. You already own all of the Alien movies? Okay, well then we'll just set that one aside. Another one that's a sci-fi staple is Terminator, the Terminator series. This one is Terminator 2. We just sold our copy of Terminator 1. I don't know why they didn't buy the second one, because it's inarguably the best one. The first one was amazing. The second one just took it to the next level, so maybe they already owned the copy of the second one, but the only one we currently have in stock is the second one. But it's really just a great, great action flick. I mean, you want to watch a great action movie, this is top of the list of great sci-fi action movies. So, if you've never seen it, I highly recommend it. And if you have seen it but just want to refresh your memory, I again highly recommend it. You have seen it, but it's been a long time. Well, do you think it's something that you'd like to take, or do you want to think about it for a minute? You'd like to think about it? Okay, that's no problem. Yeah, right now you're at 7 movies. So, let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, it's a great sci-fi series. We have the Jurassic Park collection. We do not have Jurassic World. Pretty sure they were not making VHSs when that came out. I could be wrong, but I've never seen a Jurassic World VHS. But let's face it, Jurassic Park is the superior series anyway. Well, I would say that the first Jurassic World was okay, and that one was kind of fun, just as like a nostalgia throwback. But I think it kind of went downhill in the subsequent installments. So, you know, you can do that once, but you can't keep doing it. Otherwise, it just kind of ends up as a repeat of the original and not as good. So, but getting back to Jurassic Park, we of course have the original. You can't go wrong with the original Jurassic Park, where you're introduced to the cloning of the dinosaurs in the park, and of course everything goes to pieces and there's people getting chased and eaten by dinosaurs. And then of course we have The Lost World, which if you're a Goldblum fan, it's Goldblum heavy, and it's part of the reason why I really like this one. I just love the way that he delivers all those dry humor lines. It's really amusing. So obviously not quite as good as the original, but I really, really like The Lost World. And then of course we have Jurassic Park 3, which I believe this is the only one of the originals to not have a book. I read the first two, but I don't remember there being a third book, so I don't think there was one. Michael Crichton, such a great sci-fi writer. I don't think I've ever read a book of his that I didn't like. And of course all his books translate into amazing movies as well. So of course in the third Jurassic Park, we got introduced to some new dinosaurs. We had the pterodactyls, which we hadn't seen in the previous two movies. And then, of course, there is the dinosaur with the fin that's bigger than the T-Rex. The T-Rex was the star of the show in the other two movies, but between those and the next one, at some point the paleontologists uncovered bones from other dinosaurs, realizing there were some even bigger than Tyrannosaurus Rex. Yeah, in real life. And I know that some people might not get excited as I do about that, but I tend to be kind of a nerd about archaeology or paleontology, things like that, so I just find it really fascinating and cool that, they make these movies in this time, and then they find in this time bones of creatures from, millions of years ago, and they're able to put those old bones into the new movies, even though they didn't previously have them, because, even though these movies are supposed to be, the complete record of the dinosaurs on hand, obviously they do keep finding more, and they can add them to the new movies as if they always had them. So I just find that a really fun aspect of that. So do you think you'd like to take any of these? We would sell these separately, just because they're not in a box set. They are a series, but they're not in the nice box set like the Star Wars films. So yes, we would sell these separately if there's only one or two of them that you want. You think you would like to take all three of them anyway? Okay, well, that puts you at 10 movies, so you're at your $1. What was your final decision on the Terminator 2? You think you're going to wait on that just because you have your 10 now? Okay, well, we'll just save that for later, and you can always come back and get it another time if you find yourself hankering for some more fuzzy VHS tapes at very low prices. So why don't we take these up front and ring them up, and you can walk away with a whole bag's worth of tapes for just $1. And then I suggest you make yourself a very large bowl of popcorn and have yourself a little movie marathon, because you've got yourself some really great choices here, okay? Okay, well, I'll meet you up front, and happy watching.